Hello guys, this is Royal69501 and welcome to my channel. Well, the comic that gonna display is Ghost Rider issue number, I know it's number something, I just can't see it. Okay, where is it? Oh, here it is. Issue number 45, and I'm talking about Ghost Rider, part of the Siege of Darkness crossover back then. Now check out this cover. Now this cover is awesome. Oh yeah, look at it. And the best part is that, well, I had to take him out of the bag so that way there will be no more glare. So there's nothing I can do about it with the glare. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts for this new series from DC is Superman Lost. Here's issue number 1, which is a nice cover. Check that out. And here's issue number 2, which is the awesome one. Look at that, the white suit. Awesome. Love this cover. Look at it, just awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. What the story is about? Well, the story is what the title says. You know, the some stories on the comic books, sometimes there are times when the title doesn't go with the story. It's kind of like the title doesn't make sense with the story, or vice versa. Well, this one, well, is what the story is what the title says. Superman Lost. The thing is, Superman went to do some investigation. He went to outer space. So while being over there, and he came back. I think was what 10 years later or 20 years later. Let me see. To be 20 years. So he came back 20 years. Now that's the thing about the comic book, about the story so far, that got me a little bit confused. So it's 20 years in Superman years or 20 years on our year? Allow me to explain. If you get lost out of space for 20 years and you married to Lois Lane and she's about 30, you come back 20 years later, she's 50. There is no way in hell that she's going to look the same when you got lost 20 years ago. So when for Lois Lane, he was lost, I think was for a couple of months, I think, or he was out for a couple of months. So it seems like the time has slowed down. The time slowed down for us and not for Superman. Now, there's a part of the story of Superman when he was not on this story where, oh, okay, there, where he was fighting Lex Luthor. I don't know if you see this in Superman or Action Comics or the Superman before the new one. Anyway, doesn't matter. Where, sorry about that. Where he's fighting Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor sends Superman to outer space, somewhere in outer space, and a few seconds later, Superman came back because he developed new powers, kind of like time and distance for him doesn't mean nothing. Now, my question is, if this is canon to the new powers that the Superman has, or this happened before the new superpowers that Superman has, that he can go through time, that time and distance, time and space for him is nothing. Kind of like he can bend time and space at his will. That's what I understood about the story. So I'm a little bit confused now. Taking that aside, and that being said, the story is really good. This issue number 1 really got my attention and my curiosity. Because I was wondering, like, kind of like, okay, he got lost for 20 years for him and 6 months, I think, or hours, I forgot. Let's say a couple of months for Lois Lane. So she hasn't aged at all. Although for Superman, he's spent 20 years in outer space. See where I'm going with this? With a little bit confusion. So I don't know if this is canon with the new Superman powers, like I said before, or not. But other than that, like the story, it's really good. It's really interesting. I mean, and the art, I have to say, this is done by Priest, and the artist is Pagulayan. So I'm going to show you here a couple of pages. Now I have to say that I love the colorists. The colors are so cool. Check out the colors. The colors are so bright. I need my coffee. Let me see. Here it is. For Louis Lane, he was gone for a couple of hours, I think. Check that out. This is when he returned. He said, "Well, I was lost for 20 years." So he's kind of confused. It's like he's out of place. And let's see what else. Okay. Besides that, Bruce Wayne shows up. Obviously, Lois Lane, she get that this is Batman's fault. Now, this is a love splash page. Now, check that out. This is awesome. Look at that. Now, I like the art. I've never seen this guy's art before. If I have, well, I did not know his name. Because there are times when I read comic books, I didn't even bother to know who's the artist or their. I always check more the writer than the artist. But that being said, check out the colors. Check out the colors. Light colors like that. It's very. I like it. I love it. So this is issue number 1. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil it. So issue number 2. What you see in cover number 2 is what you see on the inside. That's another thing. There are times when the cover doesn't go with the story. It happens. Well, actually, it happens all the time. So the white suit. So here he's explaining. So the story goes back and forth. Superman have to sleep on the floor. He kind of sleep on the bed. Kind of like he has some kind of like a PTSD. I didn't know you can get PTSD being out of space. Doesn't mention PTSD, but if Superman is sleeping on the floor, most of the people that has PTSD, I mean most people, that's being exaggerated, but I always wonder, a person who sleep on the floor, he must have some kind of PTSD. So he went out of space, kind of like he got lost. So the thing is that he got rescued by some alien, little baby aliens, and then from there he's trying to survive. He got a big fight with some of the aliens. I mean, issue number 2 was really great. So here, it's kind of like, that's another thing. It's a bit confusing because it goes back and forth. Goes present, past, future. So the containment suit here is when he finally used the containment suit. That's what the white suit is. It's more or less like a containment suit. When he left this planet, he left with that containment suit to come back to Earth. The thing is that I read issue number 3 already. I haven't got it yet, but in issue number 3, while he's coming back to planet Earth, his containment suit is a suit that kind of like when he's far away, the suit can absorb the sun energy and maintain it, kind of like a backup battery when you're using your cell phone. Kind of. That's what I understood. So being in outer space, which I have to search that out. he mentioned about space dolphin. I know. And he also, Superman mentioned, one time Lobo mentioned to Superman, I think was the first time that they meet, or they got into a fight, or I don't remember, or whatever the reason was. Uh, Lobo mentioned about the space dolphins, and Superman thought that was like a bunch of BS. It's like, give me a break. But according to the story, there is some dolphins, and they have the ability to travel at light speed. I just give you issue number 3, so I don't have to make. So my next video will be like part of issue number 3 and issue number 4. Back to issue number 3. Space dolphin. So he kind of like he used, so his spacesuit got a little bit damaged. So he takes the space dolphin, kind of like he grabbed him by the fin, and kind of like he just grabbed the dolphin by the fin, and just he let the dolphin give him a ride, thinking that they will get closer to planet Earth because it will take him, according to the calculation of his suit, would take about, I think, was 300 years or something, our years. I don't know how many hundred and millions of light year was the distance. So he tried to use the dolphin as a shortcut. So obviously I guess Superman cannot fly. Well, he flies at speed of sound, but not at speed of light. The only one can do that, I think, is Flash. Flash and maybe some other superhero. I don't know. But anyway, back to the story. So he used the dolphin. He get into kind of like a asteroid field, I think it is. He get his containment suit, start losing energy, to finally the story ends when his containment suit is damaged. That's how the story ends. But like I said before, it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you have to pay attention. My advice is really good. Don't get me wrong. It's really a good story. But no, wait, over here. It's a good story. But my advice will be kind of like wait till you have all the comic books or have it in trade. That's another thing I'm wondering. How far they can stretch the story for 10 issues. I hope that they don't stretch it so far that the story become boring or stupid, because DC have that bad thing when they have a good idea, they try to stretch it so far thin that somehow the story get lost, or whatever you want to call it. So I don't know how they're gonna do it in 10 issues. But the story is good. Believe me when I say that the story is good. It has some good, and it has a couple of bad parts that you go like, eh. But other than that, it's a good story. Believe me when I say it's a good story. So far the best cover, well, is issue number 2 so far. And I would give it 4.5 out of 5. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's a good story. And that's it. Well, guys, this is it. I hope that you like this video. See you later. Bye.